So today we're going to do a meditation that I find is very helpful for myself when the mind is feeling chaotic. Sometimes also these questions of what am I, and trying to become aware of awareness and to tap into this sense of I exist. This can become a little bit too much in the head sometimes. The mind likes to sometimes take this and run, especially as the mind learns to be spiritual and to change its commentary into a more spiritual nature. So if you're finding yourself in this place today or not, I'd like to invite you to come into this meditation with me. It's a simple meditation of making offerings to the heart and really resting in the heart then. So find a comfortable position for yourself and settle in. Take a few moments to just feel the weight of gravity pulling your body down to the earth, a softening of the shoulders and the hips, the belly and the back, a heaviness in the eyes and the cheeks, a drooping down in the forehead. And then we'll just rest here. And we're going to wait for the mind to present something to us. And when we do, we'll delicately scoop up the thought, tenderly, the way you might hold a bird that's fallen from the nest, lovingly. And take this form that has appeared in the mind, whether it be a thought or emotion, sensation in the body, memory or plans for the future, and just gently hold it for attention and let it bathe in your loving attention, your loving awareness. And you can whisper sweet nothings to it. You're welcome here. I don't need you to go. You're allowed to stay warm in the embrace of my presence as long as you need. And there may be a resistance to this in the mind, and that's okay, that's noticed too. And if it needs, it can be collected up like a little bird as well and held with the other bird. And knowing our heart as both the absolute, as really as a gate, as a door, a swinging door between the absolute and the finite. When we're ready, we can just delicately place these tender little forms, these tiny little birds at the doorstep of the infinite, with love and affection and reverence, in the same way that we may make offerings of flowers to our altar, humbly asking that our divine nature will accept these gifts. And it may be that the great void of your being absorbs them immediately, swallowing them up with a great big gulp. And it may be that those little forms need to sit at the doorstep for a while. Maybe there's a part of the individual that doesn't want to quite let them go yet, and that's okay. It's not time for them to be fully offered. And like this, you can turn back towards the world, turn back towards the mind, and wait for your next form, next thought. And again, you can kind of catch it in your net of attention and pull it down and hold it close. And if you'd like, it too can be offered to the void of the heart. When you're ready, you may find that turning your attention towards the mind rather than trying to suppress, resist, or avoid it, it naturally quiets. Like a child, it's incessantly pulling on your leg, begging for attention. And often in our spiritual arrogance, we're on a rat race to transcend the mind, to avoid the mind, to get rid of the mind. The mind is our enemy. So if that narrative is there for you today, notice that. And maybe hold it too. I see you, O spiritual one, existing as a thought, existing as an identification. Hello, welcome. Come in for tea. I'm dining at the doorstep of the divine today, and you're welcome to sit with me. And see if you can greet each thought or form as it presents itself in your experience with this same friendliness. All of your friends are welcome to sit on this stoop, the stoop of the sacred. Gleefully and joyfully offering thought after thought to the altar. it's quite possible that for some, as you make more and more offerings to the heart, it kind of vibrates, it bubbles, it expresses its joy that you are able to lovingly shed these layers of your individual self, of your persona, your ego. Not because they need to be gotten rid of, not because they're a problem, not because they're a hindrance to your spiritual path, but because you love them. And in your love for them, you want to bring them home. Home to the infinite absolute. What a wonderful gift. No higher gift could you really offer to these thoughts, these forms, these emotions. Nobody's forced through the door of the infinite. They either willingly go or they just simply join us for tea. Nothing's a problem here. There's no need to try to change anything or force anything. We're sitting on the step of the divine. What a gift. Whatever is witnessed, whatever is seen, I just keep it lovingly inviting it into the infinite heart. Maybe you even start to notice peace or joy, bliss, and invite these in too. These are also witnessed. They are also seen and perceived and felt. They have a kind of form to them. It may be a form that we like, that we want to hold, that we want to keep. Even more reason to offer it to the divine, to offer it to the heart, to let it dissolve into the hridayam. You are the void between these forms. You are the infinite absolute behind that door. And you're swallowing up all of these offerings, dissolving them into yourself. No effort required in this swallowing. No difficulty. The mind may jump in and look at particular offerings and say, oh no, not that. You can't offer that. No, this must stay. This is not something we want to give to the heart. And this is the mind's dualistic way of perceiving the world. It's binary. It's binary vision. Only good things can be offered to the heart. Bad things aren't able to be offered to the heart. Take that judgmental commentary and swallow it up. Pull it into your heart. I will eat you. Resting as that choiceless awareness, that vastness. No offering is too great or too small. You're beyond such trivial thinking. You're happy to take all form back to its source, into the heart of your being. And if there is a particular thought or form that is persistently kind of digging in its heels and resisting the present moment, take a look at how you're touching the form. Are you touching it with loving awareness? Can you truly say to this form, you can stay forever? It's only awareness can say such a thing. Only Shiva consciousness. Only Shiva's infinite heart is ready to accept all things. And so if there's a part of you still standing in personhood, it will continue to say, yes, this can be offered. No, this cannot be offered. Or even, this has to be offered. This has to go. This cannot stay. So also acknowledge the stories and commentary that are surrounding each form. because they are a form in themselves. And they also need to be seen in the light of awareness. They also need to be offered to Shiva's infinite heart. When they're ready, when you're ready, Shiva's ready to burn everything up today, but only what is offered, truthfully offered, with love, with reverence both for Shiva and form. So if there's something in particular that's poking around, it's not ready to dissolve, we don't need to add layers to it by judging it and condemning it and criticizing. Just hold it like that tender bird. It needs your love. And both from shining out towards the world at all of these different forms, the heart grows wider, as well as coming inward and swallowing up all of the forms internally. And like this, the door swings in between the infinite and the finite. The Hridaya, Shiva's infinite heart, both the source of all forms, the essence of all forms, as well as the obliteration of all form. And slowly we can bring this formal practice to a close, but know that the heart is always there. The altar of the heart. Dancing this sacred dance between the infinite and the finite. Shiva consciousness flowing from the center of your chest, as well as the absolute container which holds all body, form, world, thought, emotion, beyond just a single point, shining in all things. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.